You know, Robin Williams said if you remember the 60s, you weren't there, but go ahead. We had been asked to do lots of TV shows. Light My Fire was a hit, and Hello, I Love You, and I guess Touch Me was our new hit around the time that the Smothers Brothers asked us. We had turned down a lot of TV shows. We felt, you know, TV kind of mediocratized everything, and oh, they were mainly pop shows like Shindig and stuff like that, and we passed on all those. But the Smothers Brothers represented kind of cutting-edge liberal politics, and so we did the Smothers Brothers and we did the Jonathan Winters show, because he's crazy. We just came on that day. We did do a rehearsal. I remember when the audience arrived, they kind of were scared of us, kind of, who are these creatures in leather pants, you know? So they kind of didn't respond real strongly, but they were attentive. Could tell they were like, you know, TV audiences. You know, a lot of them are tourists from out of town, and here's this guy with hair down to his waist and kind of in the hollow idol's eyes, you know, confronting, and scared him. I do remember that Robbie had a black eye, if you'll notice, in Touch Me. And a lot of people have asked me if Jim punched him out. Not true, it was in a car accident. And I do remember that Jim forgot, come on, come on, come on. The second time it comes around, come on, touch me. So there's this big hole where he went, touch me, you know, which was kind of awkward, but amusing, you know. It's about all I remember. That's right. It's very difficult to get a good sound in a TV studio. So after a few TV shows like Ed Sullivan where we lip synced, you know, where you we had our engineer prepare a track of the music with the vocal taken off. So Jim could sing, and then we would pretend we were playing. Yeah, after a while I got the idea to put tape under my cymbals and to loosen all the drum heads till they were real, like paper. And then you could really pound on them hard, and it looked like you were playing. This show, I'm playing a little light for that don't or don't. Well, Touch Me was a hit, and that's probably why we were asked. And then Wild Child was the B-side, and I'm glad we did that song. That was our choice. Wild Child, full of grace, savior of the human race. Not your mother's, not your father's child, you're our child, screaming wild. Kind of says it for the 60s. Well, let's see. We'd lost our innocence. You know, there's horns and strings on Touch Me, which we got criticized for. I mean, it was #1, but the critics put us down. But before we even started, we'd talked about jazz and wanting to expand our sound and experiment. Curtis Amy's playing saxophone on the end of Touch Me. It's something we always wanted to do, and that's about where we were in our career. I don't think we would have got back to the raw sound of L.A. Woman if we hadn't gone through that, because we wanted to try that after Light My Fire and all that stuff. People said, they've changed their sound, you know, like the audience owns our sound and we can't change. So that's right where we were. And then a year or so after that, Miami and all that. No, I remember seeing Jim sitting with Tommy in the audience before the audience came in, and they were just talking, and it seemed amicable. Mm-hmm. And I was glad to see Jim was not too moody.
Is that a big concern at the time?
Well, you know, I mean, it really had to do with how stoned he was. Mm-hmm. In the early days, we were great live. I mean, we just knocked them dead 90% of the time, 10% due to technical problems. And I saw that percentage kind of shift as Jim got more and more wrecked. And so to see that go was real sad and hard to
keep together.
You know. Well, now I just look at the whole thing as meant to be because time heals, you know. That's pretty good. As I wrote in my book, Riders on the Storm, when my then 3 or 4-year-old daughter first heard Jim's voice on the record player, she got scared. Kind of went, "Ooh, what's that? Turn it off. Turn it off." I don't know. Little kids, you know, before they're 7 are kind of open to the whole universe, and she sensed something dark in there. She knew. Jim was hell-bent. What was the question? Oh, yeah, sure. Now my daughter, that daughter who was 4, is 16, and she has the end on her answering machine. So think about that, you know? At least she doesn't have the section where it says, "Father, I want to kill you."